Right, well, into our second hour, and the topic could not be more different if it tried, because we are talking about hot toy trends. We're talking about the kind of toys that you are going to be looking at to buy your children for Christmas, the kind of toys that actually are not going to collapse and that are not cheap and nasty and dangerous junk. These are toys that are massively entertaining, but they also have got a second purpose of educating at the same time. And it might be something as simple as educating a child to use its fingers, to get some form of dexterity with its fingers, to be able to slot not exactly square pegs into round holes, but something approaching that. And it bears fruit in later years in terms of the child's life. But of course, they've got to be entertaining first and foremost. And so, of course, it's that time of the year again. I can hardly believe that it is. So we've got creative parenting expert and author Nikki Bush in the studio, and time just actually does seem to fly, because this was exactly what situation we had same time last year.
I know, just disappears. And I've got a son in matric this year, and
oh, really?
Boy, am I glad that I have played with him over the years. You know, when your children suddenly start leaving the nest, all the memories you have are what you've done with your children, the quality time that you've had with them. And for me, playtime with toys are a bridge builder for me, and it's about relationships with your child as well as teaching them something amazing at the same time.
Yes, no, definitely. Now, before we do anything else, just tell me a little bit, because you have been abroad and you have been to it was the Nuremberg Toy. Tell me a little bit about the Nuremberg Toy Fair.
Well, it was an amazing experience. It was in February this year. It's one of the biggest toy fairs in the world. It's been going for 64 years, so it's the oldest toy fair in the world. And it's the one that I've always wanted to go to as a toy judge and as a game developer and somebody involved with children. That's kind of like the pinnacle of kind of where you want to be. It's where all the major suppliers are. It's where the really big money is being spent, and there are big deals going down in back rooms all over the place. So off I went. There are 12 halls of toys. Now, if you think of, say, Gallagher Estate here, where we had the Sarkta, Christmas fair, etc., for retailers, well, you're looking at somewhere that is like 12 times the size. I spent 5 days running from hall to hall. When I say running, I lost 2 kilograms in 5 days, because I had to move so fast and I still didn't finish. They have an entire hall dedicated to toy trains. An entire hall. I mean, the model airplanes and helicopters looks like you're in a hangar of real planes, because there are big and small and all sorts of things. I mean, the enthusiasts who are there. But it was incredible to see the entire toy industry, the world toy industry, literally grinding away.
So in terms of the hot trends, technology has got to be playing a significant part. And I was fascinated by what you've written.
100%, Jenny. Tech to toys, toys to tech. Toys 3.0 was the big topic at the Nuremberg Toy Fair, and it was actually fantastic. Every afternoon I spent about 2 hours in a talk area listening to experts from all over the world talking about these trends. And it really is happening. I mean, if you actually think that we didn't have tablets until about 3 years ago, tablet technology. We didn't have smartphones. What is it, 5-6 years we've had smartphones? Not even. So things are changing really rapidly. And the number of downloads over Christmas last year, and I've got the figures somewhere here, the number of downloads of apps, we had, I think it was 17.5 million iPad and Android devices activated, and 328 million downloads on Christmas Day alone. So if that doesn't show you a shift. And the thing is that children are wanting their toys to do what their parents' technology can do. That's their expectation. And also, have a little think about who the youngest parents are right now. The very newest parents coming into the market were the first gamers. So they also expect technology to be in everything. So we are seeing a shift to technology where manufacturers are starting to put technology into existing toys. Like, for example, you can put an iPad in the middle of a Monopoly board. That hasn't arrived in South Africa yet, but it will come.
Yes, I was reading what you were writing about, and it's quite difficult to imagine it. So what would an iPad do in the middle of a Monopoly board? Because there, you've got chance there, and you've got your community chess cards.
Yes, well, it's probably going to be part of, instead of throwing a dice, you're going to hit something on the iPad.
Yes.
The bank may very well be part of what's on the iPad. I haven't seen it myself.
Can I still cheat?
Can I still cheat? I don't know. And then there's a lot of move towards putting cell phone technology. So, for example, a remote-controlled helicopter, instead of having a remote-controlled device, you can now fly it from your cell phone. That becomes the remote-controlled device.
You see, it's extraordinary. You also write about little girls. There's some kind of a device where little girls can see their faces and they can put makeup on it.
The Barbie vanity mirror.
But the Barbie, just explain that.
This is augmented reality. And you will sit in front of that little mirror and your face will be on the screen, but you're not actually going to put makeup on your own face. You're going to put makeup on you in the screen. And it's the same technology that will be in our clothing stores in a store near you somewhere soon, because you will not try on those clothes anymore. You will stand in front of a mirror and you will point to what you want to try on. It will put it on you. You can then take a photograph and send it to all your mates on Facebook and ask if they think that you look nice in it, and get your crowdsourcing going. But it is the very same technology.
So with these electronic toys or these technological toys, you're issuing quite a strong warning at the same time, aren't you?
Yes, for two reasons. Number one, particularly in a country like South Africa, which is one of those BRIC countries, an emerging economy. And it's quite interesting, having been to Germany, the home of classical toys, lots of wood and playing blocks and train sets and things like that. We have a different sense of play and toys to a very old country that is steeped in traditional classical toys, where they will only use technology if it really enhances the play. In an emerging economy where we are not steeped in the tradition of classical toys, there's the danger of leapfrogging straight into technology and missing out all the in-between steps, which children really need developmentally. They learn in the concrete, which is not on a screen. They learn through holding a real toy, holding a real cup, experiencing hot and cold. So it's a very physiological process. Babies mouth things. You can't mouth a screen and discover the shape of a triangle, for example. And so we have to be aware that we need to give our children the three phases of learning. Concrete is the real thing. Semi-concrete is the picture of that thing, and then the abstract will be the number or the letter, so it denotes something.
Yes.
And when you're on a screen, it's very much the semi-concrete, the picture of it, and then we go into the abstract. So we miss out that developmental phase of being able to map things with our body and through our senses. Children learn in a multisensory way, and we have to give them things to see, touch, feel, smell, taste. They have to experience weight. They have to experience distance. They have to be able to judge speed, space, and distance, to experience the vestibular sense, which is in the inner ear. So are they facing upright, upside down, back to front? All these things you can only experience in your body, and difficult on a flat screen. Well, we might get somewhere in the future where we're on some, I don't know, piece of equipment that turns us upside down and enables us to feel that. But right now, where we are right now, we still need to give children that opportunity for real.
So there's using your hands, using your feet, using them in conjunction with your eyes.
You see, this is
all
mapping.
Of those things.
It's mapping the neurological pathways in the brain for later learning. And people sometimes ask me, are we going to look at paper and pen like papyrus and things like that in the olden days? Well, we might. But for the moment, we still need paper and pen. I mean, what happens when the lights go down? You still need to know how to read and write, and interestingly, cursive writing accesses the creative part of the brain. So I don't think it's a good idea that we can those things just yet. But there are some really positive things about technology. It's just about moderation. And that word, of course, has a big question mark behind it, because what moderation means to you and what moderation means to me could be something entirely different. And herein lies the problem. How much is too much? Depends on your home, depends on your family, depends on circumstances.
All sorts of things.
All sorts of things.
All right. Well, I think that we're going to go to news, and then we've got lots and lots of time. And I'm looking at the toys that are recommended for travelling, and they're mostly for littlies, but not entirely.
No, lots for some big people.
Yes, and lots probably for grown-ups as well. Yes. So we'll go to those first of all, and there are lots of toys that I've just got to find out exactly what they do, because they look completely fascinating. They look also very tactile. I mean, I'm just...
Oh, that is the Bee Symphony, and it is the most fascinating Toys 3.0 product where technology meets reality. It's beautiful. I'll switch it on for you just now during the break, and we can have a play.
All right, so we'll do that in a short while. So please stay with us. And if you've got any questions that you want to ask about the toys that Nikki is going to be showing me and talking about, do give us a call. The number to dial is 883-0702. You can also SMS us. And, of course, you can tweet us as well at the same time. I'll keep my eye on the tweets coming in. Right, now it's 2:30. Eyewitness News headlines. Tara Mean.